What is up, you guys? The Dominic Flores back with you guys here today to do my WWE SmackDown Kansas City review. So I've tried a bunch of different ways to do videos like this, but today I'm just gonna do a voiceover of the pictures I took. So as you guys know, I went to SmackDown Live. So the first match was a dark match. It was Natalya versus Becky Lynch, and all in all, it was a pretty good match. I think at the end, Becky Lynch ended up winning. As you can see, there's some pictures. Becky hitting a clothesline, another clothesline, and doing the Beckplex, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And then a forearm, and then to disarm her, and Becky would end up winning, and that match was not televised. And then the announcers, Corey Graves, Byron Saxton, and Tom Phillips would make their way down to the ring, and we'd kick off tonight with Shane McMahon coming out and talking about how Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn would be happening, and then he called down Daniel Bryan, and as you can see, Dana Bryan really excited to be there tonight. And yeah, really cool. The whole crowd chanted yes, and they were talking about how Daniel made the match and how he thought it was a good decision. And then AJ Styles would come out, which I might be going to meet AJ Styles this Friday if you're watching this on the day I upload it. So that would be pretty cool. I might get my replica WWE Championship sign. So yeah, AJ was like, basically, whatever. I don't care about this match. But then we would have Liv Morgan versus Charlotte Flair, the women's champion. Got some pretty cool photos of her, as you can see. So yeah, her entrance, and I believe she did a double leg takedown, and then into the corner, and yeah, banging the head of Liv Morgan on the ground, and then Liv Morgan would snap her neck back, Charlotte's neck back on the rope. So yeah, then right into the turnbuckle, Charlotte would get her down, and I believe, she was gonna go for a moonsault, but Liv reversed it, and then Charlotte hit a electric chair and went for the pin, but would miss, and then she did that devastating neck breaker, and Ruby Riott and Sarah Sarah Logan, I believe her name is. They would get tossed out, and Charlotte would make Liv tap out. She was talking to the commentators. Uh, Here come the Bludgeon Brothers. I thought those were some pretty cool photos I took of the Bludgeon Brothers. They were facing some local competitors that I don't know. The slam into the corner, and then their vicious power bomb to one of them, and then the other one got the other slam, and they would pin. And then the Usos came out, foreshadowing a possible title defense against the Bludgeon Brothers, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, and then the Usos would get ready to cut a promo, basically saying why they have the tag team division on lockdown, and why they're better than everybody else on the SmackDown Live division, what you need to do to gain success. I thought that was a pretty cool picture I took right there of Jimmy and Jay, the tag team champs. And then we would have Aiden English, which I would get a Rusev Day calendar from the souvenir shop, and I would get an AJ Styles t-shirt, the hard to follow shirt. Maybe I'll have him sign it, I don't know. But then we would have the United States Championship match. It would be Rusev with Aiden English, or Rusev Day, versus the glorious Bobby Roode. I thought I took some pretty cool pictures of that. And then we would have the title presentation or whatever. And then, so then we would have the United States Championship match, which the only title matches I've seen at a WWE event are United States Championship matches. As you can see, Rusev kind of shoving around Bobby, and then they'd go for another headlock, and then front face lock by Rusev, and then yeah, this match all in all was a pretty good match. One of my favorite matches of the night, probably. And Rusev, as you see, twisting the hands of Bobby Roode, and then they would fight outside. Bobby would get him back into the ring, and then, yeah, so they would slowly, the match kind of got slow at one point, but then towards the end it got pretty exciting, I thought. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, and then Rusev would do a fall-away slam, go for the cover, and Roode would kick out. And you'd have him in a face lock, as you can see, and then Bobby would try getting out of it and started punching Rusev. And then a big clothesline in the corner. And then I believe that was the blockbuster DDT from the second rope. And then Bobby would go back up and hit Rusev, and then he was getting all fired up. And then Rusev, I forget what he hit. I think he hit a side kick to that side of the head of Bobby Roode, and Roode would kick out. And then we would have Rusev going for a suplex, but Bobby Roode at first countering it, and then eventually Rusev would get him up for a big superplex. So yeah, and then Roode would try and go for a glorious DDT, but Rusev would throw him up in the air and knee him in the midsection, and then he would run off the ropes, and Bobby Roode would hit a spinebuster. Rusev would later come back with a super kick, and then we have Rusev going for the accolade, but Roode would try and roll him up. Missed that. Rusev ducks the glorious DDT with a roll up, as you can see. And then Roode reversed I forget what he was going for, but then he hit a glorious DDT, and 1, 2, 3, he would retain the United States Championship. But then out of nowhere, Randy Orton RKO'd Bobby Roode. I couldn't get a good picture of that, but I got some pretty good pictures here. He would turn his attention to Rusev and RKO Rusev. I thought that was a pretty good picture. And then he would turn his attention. I guess I didn't put. Oh yeah, there's Aiden English getting RKO'd. Sorry, I got him out of order. And then we would have Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Ascension. In tag team action. This match wasn't that good. It's just a quick little match, but nonetheless, it was fun. All the matches were fun, honestly, to get behind all the guys. Connor would go for a shoulder tackle. And yeah, Chad Gable would target the leg of Connor. So, yeah, all in all, it was a mediocre match. Nothing really huge, but, you know, at least these guys step in the ring, right? And then I believe Victor hit a knee right there, a second row knee, which was pretty cool. And then Gable would do the deadlift suplex, and then Benjamin would get him up on his shoulders, and they would do that cool clothesline from the top. And yeah, Sean Benjamin and Chad Gable would end up getting the win. And then we'd have the main event. It was Sami Zayn versus his best friend, Kevin Owens. Last time I've seen Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn wrestle in person, actually. Like 2 years ago at Raw, a year and a half ago at Raw, I think. But yeah, as you can see, he has him in a front face lock. Sami would do like an arm drag, another arm drag. What else? And he had him in an arm lock right there. Owens would reverse it, and then they'd have like a stare off. And then Zayn would stare at him again. Kevin Owens was like kind of cowering out. And yeah, and then they'd bring the fight outside. And yeah, Owens with a knee to the back, and then would have him in a front face lock. And then Owens would kick him in the face. And then Sami with an explosive clothesline was kicking him in the corner. Zayn had him in a front face lock. And then I believe that was a big boot. And then another boot to the face of Owens. And yeah, and then I don't know what that was. I think it might have been a snapmare or something. I don't know. And then Sami Zayn would fire off on Owens, and then Sami Zayn would go to the top, and I believe they block it, but then Sami Zayn would hit that tornado DDT through the second rope, and then Sami Zayn would hit a blue thunder bomb, but Owens would kick out and wasn't enough, and then Sami would taunt AJ Styles, and then AJ Styles got up and started attacking both of them, and yeah, it broke out, everything broke loose. And yeah, and then Daniel Bryan would come out and he said, well, we will make this match at Fastlane a triple threat match because the winner of the match would have faced AJ Styles. But then we'd have it become a triple threat match. And then we'd have the mixed match challenge. I believe that was Jimmy Uso and Naomi versus pretty cool entrance by Naomi and Jimmy. And then we'd have Rose Gold, as they call themselves, Mandy Rose, and Gold Dust. So yeah, that was a pretty cool tag team. The Gold went well with it. Originally supposed to be Alicia Fox. So yeah, and then we'd have the match start, and Daniel Bryan would be the special guest referee for the match. And so yeah, we'd have Goldust and Jimmy Uso start off the match, and then Naomi would pick up the pace with Mandy Rose, and then she'd do a rear end to Goldust, and then Jimmy would hit a Uso splash, and then Rusev, and Lana would come out and they'd say that they would win next week against Elias and Bailey, and then we'd have some high-flying action between Kalisto and Lindsay Dorado. Sorry there's not that much 205 live action in the video because my camera died right towards the end of it. So I have more pictures of this match than I do of the Roderick Strong Hideo Itami match. As you can see, a Hurricane Rana off the top. I forget what that was. And then Kalisto would end up getting the win anyway. So pretty exciting high fly match. And then we'd have a Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong. Like I have like 5 pictures of this. So yeah, all in all, it was a Roderick Strong would end up getting the win. That's a picture from my phone. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Wrestling Media at the Dominators Toy Show. Thank you guys for watching.